Here we are, another blue-collared podcast with my man Dave Newton. Oh, baby! And this week, we are talking about injuries. But before that, you know what time it is. It's our blue-collared breakdown. And what do we have here? We have safety taken to new heights. We have a hog, and we have a dog.
Yeah, he's probably heavier and stronger than a lot of things I've tied off to. So, I don't want to judge too harshly, right?
Like, true.
I've tied off to far less than that tree. What's he doing? Is he painting?
I don't know, but well, first of all, let's break it down. So we have a fat beer belly holding a frisbee, or that could be a lid to a pail of ice cream.
Well, he looks like he eats a lot. Well, it could be just his last meal. He won't let the plate go.
And then, you know what I do like, though? Because I do this when the boys are close to the corner. I always hold on to the rope as well to make sure.
Yeah.
So, you know
There's
what?
a false sense of security to that, yeah.
You got your boy there.
I do it, actually, when the guys are like 6 stories up and they're trying to hang face or something. I'll sit there and I'll grab the harness.
Yeah.
And then I hold him.
So yeah, I do like that. So he's got his buddy.
But that's just a piece of rope.
Yeah, it's
like that's just rope.
I don't even know. It's like a leash. It looks like like a dog
Like
leash.
he's walking him.
Yeah. It's like painting.
I wanted to see how high that is. It looked like a multi-story building. He might be quite high.
It looks high.
He's not that big guy. There's no wind gust that's gonna move him.
Oh god, no! Like that is dedication to the cause of being.
I wonder what he gets paid to do that.
I don't know. I bet he does get a nice hourly wage to be.
He's the boss.
The
He's
anchor.
paying that guy.
This looks sweaty too. You know, it's like a very sweaty man.
Ugh.
Okay.
You're not coming back. You're not going back through that door till you're done. Like, move me if you can.
And this is our video of the breakdown.
I've seen this one before.
Me too. It's a classic. This is a classic.
How did this happen?
He got flung.
What, dude?
And like you just tell.
He didn't even brace himself. He just rode it like.
He just took it like a boss. Slow motion.
It's like when a drunk driver has a crash, like he just doesn't brace himself, just takes. Like, my God, like let it go.
He really like.
One of my best friends growing up, that reminds me of this one scenario when we were 15. I bought him 16 maybe. I bought him a bottle of whiskey or bourbon or whatever it was, and he pounded it. And I remember, just drunk teenagers. And I remember he found a shopping cart, and I don't know, we're just drunk kids, right? But he picks this thing up over his head, and we're on this bridge, and he throws it over the bridge, but didn't let go.
Oh my God.
And all I remember is just seeing 2 feet go over. And it was about, I bet it was like 15 feet drop to rock. There was like a waterless creek underneath. There's like a bridge, like if it rains enough, it'll have water, but it was just rock. And he fell inside the shopping cart. And he got away pretty good, man. He only got like a few stitches in his leg.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And he went head first into this shopping cart. But that was the power of a bottle of bourbon in your stomach. Like,
because you go limp, right?
Oh, dude, his feet just fucking fell. Like, what a dumb shit. Just fucking threw it and never let go. And just the weight of it just... It's like his hands were handcuffed to it. Like,
oh my God.
Oh, dude.
Just a couple stitches.
In his leg, of all things. God. He went head first into the fucking cart, into the rocks.
God.
And his leg, I think when I don't know, I didn't see him actually land. All I know is it went and he went with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was like a 4-foot railing too, so we had to go over the That's what that reminds me of as soon as I see that.
Fucking idiots.
This guy, I think
like the thing is, he must be drunk, because he should have let go.
Should have at least put his arms out to brace.
Letting
go
would have been ideal. It would have been the smartest move. The second thing would brace.
Yeah.
But look how far he actually went, like 7 meters, man.
Yeah, like fucking.
And the loads all
fucked
fucked up. Yeah. So, moral of the story is let go.
Yeah.
So, injuries. We all have had them.
Yep.
And this is talking about the most common injury, the injuries, funny injuries, and course, the trades that involve the most injuries. And which one has the most? Which one has the least? Probably fucking electricians. Those little. Oh, I guess when they have a bad
good
one.
Boys, yeah, when they fuck.
Yeah.
No, so
they get fried, but.
I'll tell you this one. A couple of electricians, right? So that the golden boys that having their fuck. I'm gonna get on them here.
Little vaginas.
There's a guy. When I was an apprentice, I heard there's an electrician in my hometown there in Australia, and I guess he was drilling through a block wall, right? Like a cinder block wall, like drilling through. But there'd been a wire, like a big cable ran through the block wall.
Yeah.
And he hit that thing, and it shot him across the room. His hair grew white for the rest of his life.
No.
Yeah, it changed his hair.
Genetic dynamic.
I thought he dyed it. Like I've actually seen the guy before, and I asked what happened to him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the story they told me.
God.
And it just grows like that now, from just being fucking fried.
Fucking right. Well, that's what you get for being like the pony boy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it's just science.
There's another guy. He had those stop pickets, temporary fence posts, and he had the big, heavy, fucking thing to ram those in. Like it's like a tube with a weight on it.
Yeah.
And
To put in those the fence things, yeah.
And, for cattle fencing and shit. And the guy did that, and he went into a fucking sizable line in the ground, underground line.
No.
And I guess it shot that fucking thing up, and it was just like a toothpick up in the air. It went so high, and everyone, I guess, everyone's watching like, whoa, where's it going? Where's it going? And everyone just ran. Luckily, it landed and didn't hit a car or anything, but like, again, that kid that was ramming that thing in just got fucking shot back. And
for me, like injuries, I like, have you had any? Like for me, I've had the things that fuck me up the most is like getting those little back pain, or you're working so much, your legs get so tight that just causes like
you never see them coming.
Yeah, they just pop out of nowhere. They're like little Houdinis.
You can be lifting heavy shit all day, like real heavy stuff all day, and then
it's the little thing.
Bend down to pick a nail up off the ground. Yeah, like, there's my back gone for
we were just talking about. I was grabbing a bag of batteries, and I walked I've been lifting windows all week.
Yeah.
And then I just do a little thing up the stairs, and it's just like, twing. And you're just like, oh my fucking God. And you're just like,
really? This is what's going to do.
Oh my God. Yes. Like 400-pound windows all week. And this is the one that's going to make me suffer.
Yes. I think most guys. So I mostly now, when I got to pick anything metal up off the ground, I'll take my hammer out and use the magnet now. Because I'm just like, I don't risk it. I don't fucking risk it anymore, man. The amount of times I've just done heavy lifting all week and then just gone to pick something small up and my back's
I think that's what it is. I think your body gets so tight from that.
Yeah.
That it's just, it's the straw that broke the camel's back, and it just takes you down. Cause I worked in the oil patch for so long. Fingers. Working on the rigs, drilling rigs, fingers really like to leave.
Don't put your fingers where you
don't put your cock, right?
Danger, right?
So one of the craziest stories. So I was on this black sheep rig. So I'll explain to everyone here. A rig has 2 crews, day shift and night shift, and they usually have 5 guys per crew. So that particular rig, which is the black sheep rig, we went through 46 guys in 2 months. So think of 46 guys. So think of a normal rig would run, it just have 10 guys. And then maybe once or twice you change the guys. So it would go through 1 or 2 guys. We went through 46 guys. So me personally, I went through 23 I was there for about a month or 6 weeks because I was one of the lucky ones that went there. I was the longest guy in that rig for 6 weeks. And basically, I was running night shift. It was just black sheep rig, pump houses would explode. A Kelly line, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a thing that pumps mud down in the hole. That fell off and was whipping around in the air and just covered everything with mud. But what the craziest story was, we had a driller there, day shift, and I guess the roughneck was pissing him off, not doing his job, and he took these huge tongs that are used to bite onto the pipe. He took them and he hucked them at the roughneck. And the roughneck, I guess, didn't get out of the way properly, but the tong smashed his hand and crushed one of his fingers to oblivion. So now he lost a finger, and now he is the lifetime name of Nub. 9-finger Nub there. So a lot of fingers get lost on the rigs. Just because there's so many things. When shit goes wrong, or you put your finger in the hand in the wrong spot, it's the end. Even just rolling a pipe, if you put your hand in the wrong, it's broken, right? Because the pipe is 500 pounds.
Yeah.
If you move it like a couple inches, relatively fast.
Once those fingers get under there,
it's the end.
That's it.
So like that, and then obviously like there's major events where people get like cut in half by slings, metal corded slings and stuff. But I think the highest stat is traffic related incidents. So it's going from job site or leaving job site tired, and then falling asleep at the wheel.
I know that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the number one. That it's traffic accidents are the number one cause.
We'll keep that to ourselves here because I don't need them telling me how many hours I'm allowed to work either.
Well,
they'll shut me down at 8 hours. Like that's just what they'll do. If we let that get out there, like everyone shut the fuck up about that. Okay, like keep that unless you're happy making what you can make in 8 hours. Just pull that leak out.
Well, some of the guys were doing like some pretty crazy shit, but on the framing side, what did you? Like what's like? Because you get the nail gun. The nail gun's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, fuck man, I got some good ones there. It's got to be nails. I think it's probably the most common. There's some fucking beauties, man. There are some absolute beauties. Like my first day working in Canada, like in Sherwood Park, I pull up there and I didn't know how to dress properly, and so I had these gloves with the rubber palm on them.
Yeah.
But they're not very well suited for the temperatures there. It's cold. I got here right at the start of winter.
Right.
It was snowing and it was fucking cold, but I had the wrong gloves, so my hands were numb. And anyways, I was I can't remember what I was doing. It was my first day framing. Now, I basically what I'd done was the gun it didn't bite when I nailed some rim board, and it skewed and the nail kicked off and it went through my finger and out the other side, but with the glove on. So I was like, okay, good. It was probably actually one of the better ones you can get.
Right.
Like it was all meaty and sure it hurt, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It can be way worse.
Right.
So the guy, my partner working with me, he's like, oh my god. Like, and fuck man, I'd only been on site for 30 minutes.
And you pissed off the...
And I'd already pissed off the fucking foreman. Like, I'd already gotten under his skin once already.
Because you're a cunt.
Yeah, he actually had a hate on for Aussies, and I'll tell you why after. But as soon as he went through it, I'm like, oh fuck, you see the red coming through the glove, so I pull it out and, nothing.
Yeah,
you
duct
feel
tape.
your heart.
You get the duct tape.
No, I didn't even do that.
No duct tape?
So the foreman, he comes running down there. I'm waiting. He's just probably looking to fire me.
Yeah.
30 minutes in. And he goes, he shot himself. And I'm like, no, I didn't. He goes, yeah, you did. Put your hands up. So I put them up like this. You see the blood coming through the cloth in the tunnel. He goes, and showed me the other side. And I went like that. And he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I was saying that he shot himself. I was like, what the fuck are you trying to, like, are you trying to get me fired? Like, what's your fucking problem, man? Like, telling him I shot myself when I didn't, and at this point the blood's running down my hand, like it's down my, it's going down my forearm, but I got a jacket on, right?
Right.
But yeah, that was the first time, and then that was tough. And then the foreman went away, and I went to my truck and switched my glove, taped it.
Right.
And I came back and said, "You cunt! Why the fuck do you gonna do that?" He goes, "Well, you're supposed to report that." I'm like, "No, but you kept pushing it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, fucking shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
You're gonna get me fired." But so the reason that guy hated Australians, and I guess so there's no chance.
Banged his wife.
No.
You
should see what this other Aussie did to him. I guess this other Aussie guy was a big meathead and just fucking ran this guy's show, right? Even though he was the boss, he'd always just basically fucking dominate him the whole time. But I guess what he did one day was it was the foreman's birthday. So he went to one of those stores where you buy fake lottery scratches. So when you scratch, it looks like you won $10,000, but it's fake. So he went and bought one of those and gave him this gift card. Hey, this is from all the boys.
My
This is from
God,
all the boys.
that's
And
amazing.
he put a couple real ones in there. $2 winners, this and that. And then he put this one in there. And he goes, yeah, 10 grand. And he fucking went all the way to the fucking gas station. Goes all the way to the fucking gas station. And fucking, they're just like, what are you doing, man? This is a fake. And I guess from that day on, he just fucking hated this guy.
That is amazing.
So, I'm the next Aussie that comes along, and this guy's just gonna hate him for us. So I was like, fuck you.
Right.
I didn't work there very long. I found another job, but
So that was the first day,
oh yeah, first 30 minutes.
Fuck.
That was fucking
right.
Yeah, not a good way to start.
No. Have you had any injuries that taken you out? Like I've man.
I had my back. Like I did something to my back, maybe a disc or something. I don't know. I didn't go too far into it, but it bedridden me for a week.
What?
Yeah, it's a week. You just.
And what did you do? What was the situation that incurred that?
Just a ton of intensive labor. That was
so like window shit.
Essentially, yeah.
A similar thing, like
where you just for a whole week you're doing a lot of heavy lifting, and then it was something as simple as turning the wrong way, and it just
right. Like, so the body, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
The God, like the injuries that like really, you always have to work. There's like if you don't show to work, there's just so much repercussions from like the boys. And whenever you're like injured, like people can smell it on you.
Oh yeah.
And they're just they can smell the weakness. Like honestly, like I just injured myself 2 weeks. Like I didn't tell anybody, but like the boys could smell it. There was certain challenges.
They make you keep lifting heavy shit.
Yeah.
To see how long till you fucking say it.
Well, it's not even that. It's like other things, But yeah, like I always like I got in a couple of fights, and when you fuck up, like you fight, you punch people with your fists.
Yeah.
Punching people with your fists incur fucking up your hands. So that's
you're better off with the palm of your hand.
It's way better. But you're doing this, and then you're drunk, so you're missing, and you're smashing pavement,
hitting the skull and not the face.
You do. It's just fights are chaotic, and man, like it takes like 3 months for broken bones to heal. So you're trying to like. Lift things, or you're doing this, and it's so painful being injured with your hands. I think the hand is one of the worst injuries. Oh, yeah. Like the knees are bad, the shoulder's terrible.
You know what?
They're all so bad.
There was a guy I know in Edmonton. He had his, and all frames have done this. Fucking, if any of you fucking chime in and tell me otherwise, I know you're fucking full of shit. I know you've all done this because we all have. Where you walk with your hand on the gun, with your finger on the trigger,
right?
And you got a cock, and we've walked, and either you've shot yourself, or it's gone off, or don't fucking lie to me. I know you've all done it. Don't fucking lie to me. There was one guy that actually, Brandon, he's a big guy, like really thick guy. He tried to get through a wall, and I guess hand on the trigger, and he went straight through the kneecap. I know. He's a big dude, man. He's a big, thick. Like, big guy.
God.
And he, guys had to carry him out of there.
Oh my. Like the kneecap
just
sounds
so
so
bad.
bad.
Of that, and it just looked like, fuck.
God, it gives me heebie-jeebies,
Like, that one, short of going in your brain or your eyeball or something like that has got to be the, fuck.
What about...
Like, I've done it. I've skimmed my thigh doing it, and it's shot past me. I'm like, oh,
man,
that was too close.
I had a close one. I was doing a belly band.
Yeah.
And I had the fucking gun, and I hit my finger, like right on top of my hand, and it like went, and my finger's on the trigger, and the gun goes, and I just grazed it, and it didn't go off, but it was just 1 second before proper pressure for it to go in, and I'm just like, Darcy. I almost did it. He's like, I've done it so many times. He's done it so many times.
Yeah.
You get your like little cuts and stuff.
Well, you haven't done it yet. I feel compelled to almost walk up to you with the trigger back and just christen you. I'll do it from a distance.
I'm not getting christened. I'm Brody. I'm never getting shot. Me and Brody are pure.
Yeah.
We're enlightened.
It's impossible for him. He snaps lines now. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Very good.
Chalk line's not going to shoot you. I've had guys actually shoot me. I've been walking through and be like, you hear the bang. It's like, what? Oh! Like,
yeah.
And they're like, fuck off! Like,
it's a bullet, man.
Oh, yeah, well, they'll leave a little bruise.
Oh,
you hope it doesn't stick in you, but you know what I mean? But I don't know, it gets you unaware. It's like,
fuck. Have you ever, like I guess that one time, when you blew out your disc, like, because I had a similar thing, but it wasn't because of work, because I had a snowmobile accident and I fucked up my back.
Yeah.
What were you doing when you fucked up your back again? Just lifting heavy shit.
No. So I'd been lifting a lot of heavy shit that week.
Yeah.
And it was early in the morning. Maybe I should have done stretches and warmed up.
Yeah,
and maybe a hot shower that morning would have worked better.
Punished yourself.
But it was actually, I don't think I even bent over yet. I kind of went to go bend over.
And just blew it out.
Gone. I was like, are you kidding me? And it locked me up.
That's crazy.
I've had my neck, I slipped on some ice in Edmonton there, and my neck locked up. And I mean locked up to the point where I'm like, you get me to the fucking ER right now.
Really?
What is going on? I thought I broke my neck. I couldn't move, man. Hitting every bump in the road. I nearly wanted to cry. I'd never felt that. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, they gave me muscle relaxers, and next day it was okay. It was tight. You could tell the muscles had
that's
right
basically,
up. But it felt like I'd done neck exercises at the gym, that kind of
Yeah.
But all it was everything tightened up, and then just had to let go. Working in the rigs in not rigs, the mines in Western Australia there.
Yeah.
Now I believe the story goes like this. He was down in the mine, I guess, and I guess he was guiding the excavator to put the blade in to dig.
Right.
And the guy kind of went too quick. The bucket straight halfway up his shin, chopped the leg off.
No.
Or shattered or whatever. Anyways, he lost from halfway up the shin.
Fuck off.
So yeah, I hadn't seen this guy since I grew up around this guy.
One of the boys.
Yeah, well, he's just a guy I grew up around, right? Good guy, but he lost his leg from halfway up the shin down.
That's brutal.
But I didn't even know what happened till.
One of the worst recent stories I've had, but kind of breaks my heart. You know, one of the guys that you worked with, one of the boys from the crew, just one of those guys that kind of everyone loves. He's a wild cat. He was working on one of our rigs, he's just party animal, and he was driving drunk. So he's basically working. That night he was drinking, and he fucking crashed. Dead. And it sucks because he's one of those ones that kind of hit hard. Because there's some guys that are pieces of shit on the rigs that you're like, well, man, I don't really care if he died. But this guy was a fucking gem.
Yeah.
Res Dog was his name.
Just a beauty. Yeah.
Just a fucking beauty, man. Just an absolute he had a mullet, great greasy stash, and just a fucking beauty. Honestly, just a genuine fucking cool dude.
Yeah.
And we lost him this summer. And it's one of those ones where you just kind of wish, wish I would have just not let that happen. I wasn't there, but I just wish that one didn't happen.
Yeah.
One of the fallen soldiers too.
Was he drink driving?
Oh yeah, he's probably fucking hammered. Yeah, but he's just
probably done it 1,000 times.
Yeah, he's just that's the one that got him. I've done a couple with him. He's fucking pretty good drink driver, but didn't make it that one. That was really shitty.
Very cool, eh?
I
was a kid. There's a home in my hometown. And heard this one. I've been away for a long time now. But this was another one kid. He was in the grade below me, but I graduated with his sister. One of those, being a smallish town, one of those iconic families.
Yeah.
It was. They were one of those. They owned one of the mills.
Right.
Very, very well respected around the town. Good. He carried the family name very well.
Right.
A lot of his friends were scallywags, right? Him and his buddies were always up to mischief, but
he was
whenever he would interact with people throughout the town, he was very respectful,
a good guy.
Yeah, but his parents had a good business, and his dad was very well respected, and they just treated everyone well, and got treated well in return. And one of those families that they owned a mill, a logging mill there, and I guess they were out in the bush cutting down trees, and and a branch fell on him.
Done.
Yeah, and he passed away from that injury. And
that's brutal.
That was one that shut down the whole town. That one, because it was one of those big iconic names. And
My
it's just
God.
You know what I mean? In the nature of talking about work site injuries, logging is part of carpentry. It's part of the process for us. It's the part we don't get to see.
No.
But those guys, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
To those guys for us to build these great big wooden structures.
And like when those trees kick out,
this is what
it's insane. Like I know a couple
it's
of
a very
foresters.
powerful thing. Like,
yeah, they cut it a certain way, but sometimes chaos just happens, and that tree will do this twist and then kick out because you are there cutting it. Like my buddy told me he's been fucked up. A forester who cuts down selective trees has been annihilated by trees.
Yeah.
Just because of chaos. Like you do 100 trees, there's going to be one that just doesn't
trees are 200 feet.
Yeah.
Like they're big. So when a branch falls, it doesn't make noise. It just falls. And it hits you with a lot of velocity. It doesn't have to be a big branch either.
No.
You could have a walking stick.
And if
just think what a 200-foot drop of a walking stick could do to your head if you're not wearing a helmet.
It's not going to be great.
Maybe I don't know the details if he's wearing a helmet or not, but
irrelevant.
It's irrelevant at this point. He passed away from that, so that was a bad one.
Yeah.
Bad one, yeah.
Another one. I have it in the book that I wrote, the Pipeline Diaries.
Yeah.
We were on a job. It was going quite well, everything was going good. We had an awesome inspector. But one day, got everyone there. Everyone got gathered around. We had to talk about, so, last night we had an incident, because you always have to talk about the big incidents. But this guy, he was spotting a truck, and there's a bunch of lumps of dirt, right? And they were frozen lumps. And this guy was backing up. It hit a lump of dirt, and the truck moved, and something happened, but the guy got ran over by this particular event. Had to get Star Hospital to the hospital. He had 2 kids and a wife.
Oh, shit.
And he died. Just brutal, man. And you think about a lump of mud did this. A lump of mud created this situation, that created a truck to move, and then him to be there.
Yeah.
And the protocol, we all know how to spot. We all know all these things, but it's just it's so hard to that's why it's so hard to understand chaos, because it's just there's that 1 in a million chance, and eventually someone will have to die.
The one thing the older I get and the more stuff I see, and the more I start to respect the whole process of the FLHA, the safety stuff. Now I know most guys just sign it without reading it, but again, when I'm filling it out in the morning, it reminds me to remind guys.
Yeah.
If I see them doing something, it reminds me to tell them. So it's a useful tool for me. But there was a kid, like a young guy in Edmonton there. I guess he was, they're putting rainwater pipes, those big concrete pipes, in deep in the ground. And whatever they are, those big drain pipes. And I guess when they lower them in, so they got this big V cut in the ground, and then people are down in the trench, and then they use excavators to lower these sections of piping to make it drain to wherever it's got to go to, right?
Right.
Out of these great big long trenches, and they're quite deep, 10 plus feet deep.
Right, and they got the shoring and whatever.
I think they cut like a V.
Yeah.
So it can't collapse.
Right.
It's a very safe procedure for the most part. But I guess the excavator with the chains on it was lowering. He lowered in a pipe, and they were, I don't know if they glue or do the rubber seal, whatever it is, but they were doing the work down there. The people in the trench were doing the work, and I don't. If people know this story, obviously you can correct me on it, but I think the story was that the excavator operator, because it was in the summer, had the door open on the excavator.
Right.
And either the wind blew it, or someone said maybe a bug came in, like a wasp or something. And he either went to go stop the door or swat the wasp, whatever it was. I've heard 2 different versions of it. But nonetheless, he hit the control as he did that knee-jerk reaction to stop that from happening. And the hoe swung the pipe and crushed the young man in the hole.
Yeah.
Killed him.
Done.
So I was told that the father of that kid was on that site. Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Oh my god, that'd be
oh my god,
that'd be
I'm a father of 2 sons. 2 sons, and I can tell you right now that is
I'm just
the nightmare you'll never, like, that's it. That's it.
Done.
You're never the same person again after that.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I can't. I could not believe that could happen to someone.
And that's the price you pay. Like we all know what we're doing, and I think that's one of those things that kind of get lost in translation when you're in doing the trades, because the trades, there's some trades that are less risky than other trades.
Yeah.
Like I think oil patch is one of the top for getting. We have a lot of safety protocol.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit that you just can't control. And then depending on how bad they are, depending if someone makes a mistake, right? There's a lot of moving parts. Like framing is actually pretty dangerous. Like, because you're like 6 stories up.
What can go wrong?
Right? Like, you got.
Like a lot of guys will tie off. They put a rope on just so anyone from the ground can see there's a rope on.
Right.
And it's actually not tied anything.
I know.
So when you fall, you know how stupid that looks when you fall to your death?
Looks dumb.
And you wore all the necessary shit to make it look like you don't know. Why did you not tie that off?
Sometimes it's because it's just not valid. Because we do things that are just.
I get sometimes people just forget that it's not tied off.
That would be the only reason.
That's why we do full arrest.
But when I do, if I'm close to the ledge, or if I'm going to do risky shit, I tie off for sure.
Dude, I choke that thing right up.
Whatever
I'm doing, I can only just reach to do it.
But
so if I fall, I can't, and that's where I get to.
Yeah.
Because, like it or not, no matter what, it'll stop you from hitting the ground. Have you seen those pictures of the people that don't wear their harnesses properly? What it does to them, men?
Does it rip their balls off?
It'll rip your ball sack.
Right? I don't want that.
Oh yeah.
I don't want that.
Trust me, there's some things that are worse than death.
Oh, I like my balls. I love my cock and balls. I'm a pretty big fan of them. I like them.
You like?
Yeah, I like how I touch them to make sure they're there often.
Just your own?
Oh yeah, just get in there and just make sure. Like I'm a big fan of my balls and cock. Yeah.
We all just pucker.
Yeah,
everyone listening to this just puckered up a little more.
Yeah, like boys, you guys know what I'm talking. Like you know. But yeah, I think that's the thing that, especially in Western cultures, people have lost like what we actually fucking do and then what we sacrifice, like what. The shit we sacrifice to make this whole system work. And I think that's kind of lost in...
some of it's accidental. Some of it's just stupid.
Well, some of it...
some of it is just the risk we take.
It's just the risk we take, but like that's the whole conundrum of working in the trade. That's the conundrum of building, 6, 10, 20, 40 stories up. That's the conundrum it takes to make steel so you can build these buildings. That's the conundrum that you're going to face when you got to rip oil out of the Earth's core and transport across the world, and you got to build pipes, and you got hose, and you need heavy equipment and earth moved. Like that's just the risk. But
I'd love to hear a story about accounting injuries.
Right? Like I got a paper.
You got from looking at your computer.
I got a paper cut, or
no.
I know teachers. Like every so often there's a school, but you're not gonna have a teacher being dying. Of just not. You know what I mean?
No, I like to see an office work and like the people that seem to not appreciate this these lines of work the most. Yeah, like
I think that's
the baristas that have so much to say about.
Right. Yeah, like the rainbow haired people. Yeah. But the thing is when you're actually there and you just get a perspective. Me and Spencer were talking about it the other day. It's just the amount of effort it took to build a condo. So it's just you have the framers there, you have the concrete guys, and then you have all the guys getting the gravel for the concrete. Mm-hmm. Then you have all the guys cutting down the trees for the wood to frame. Then you have all the trucks involved. You have this 100 and all the oil and gas to feed the trucks, and the mills to make the sheets of plywood.
I just think every single moving part that goes into just building, just even put it into a house, it's very complex. All the things that go into just building a single house, it's all taxed. How much tax do we?
Oh my God!
For another day. That's a.
Let's not get down that rabbit hole. But just the manpower and the systems in place, and I'm gonna say majority is dudes. 99% are these dudes, these men, these incredible human beings making this function and taking the risks, their lives, which is when you actually just look at reality lens, it's pretty unbloody believable.
Okay. I'll leave you with this last story now. My mother-in-law, she's a medic up in the oil patch there, and my father-in-law's a consultant. They work side by side there, and this was on their shift off, but on one of their sites. I guess two welders were welding a tank, something that holds a lot of gas.
Yeah.
Very flammable, but they got procedures with welding around that type of stuff. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I know this is relevant to your line of work because you drill up in those places. But sometimes injuries happen, and it's natural selection. You were selected. You were selected for your time to be up, and I don't know how else to put this story, but other into that. And I'm sorry to the family this happened because it is about as unlucky as I think you could get.
Right. That's yeah.
So I guess the two welders were there. One's welding on the tank, the other one's back at the truck, and I guess he welded incorrectly, or there was a mistake, and the tank blew up. Flammable gas and oils versus welding.
Right.
Potential for the disaster.
You're gonna
so it blew up, and in the process of it blowing up, it instantly killed the guy welding on it. Like he was instantly killed.
Done.
And the other guy, as the explosion happened, just started running away from it as fast as he could. Well, the lid on this tank that went up into the air, big heavy steel lid with pinpoint accuracy like a missile, goes up in the air and landed on him in mid as he was running away from it. That thing could have flipped in any other. There's 360 degrees and it could have flipped.
That's
and
insane.
It landed at the exact time as he's running away from it, like
1 in a million. 1 in a million.
I want to say the odds are worse than that, but
God, that is insane.
But that that was something that's
you can't argue.
No,
Time was up, and
and
those I think that's like working in this industry. That's the price you pay. You have the chance of chaos taking you.
Yeah. I wonder how hard guys that are working power lines pucker. Is there a point in their career where they're working on power lines every day where they just get used to it and they trust the process?
The gloves
every time they get up there, it's like this thing could just blow me up.
That's a good question. Power line guys, how do you feel? Because that seems insane. Like you got 40,000 volts of death in your hands.
Yeah.
That you make a mistake, you're done, man. You're a rotisserie chicken.
I know they're very union based, so their safety is like every Q&T, everything's crossed off. I know they do a very good job with their safety procedures and all that. So
yeah.
I know they're quite in tune with it, but at the end of the day, it's a job that is repetitive and they do it every day. So
with big,
like every
big
job,
risk.
there's complacency. There is complacency in every. Yeah, I haven't heard any stories about these guys. Maybe that's how tight they are with that stuff, but at the same
there has to
time,
be a lot of protocols, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking so because fuck man, I think they get paid pretty good too.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of death. They
literally. I think it's a really good gig, and there's a big lineup to get in there.
Yeah. I actually met a guy when I was in Ecuador. He was watching my TikToks. I'm one of my fans. He's my first fan that I met.
Oh, yeah.
And he runs, when the power lines go down in Ontario, he's the one who puts them up. Steve Myers. Awesome dude, man. Steve Myers. Love you. Yeah. But yeah, that's an intense job. What do you think would what do you think would have the most, because we got the most dangerous job as another podcast, but what do you think is a job that has the most injuries? I want to say oil and gas.
Depends what you want to call injuries, but
where you get taken
constantly getting cut and things like that, constantly those rebar tires, guys tying steel.
Oh yeah,
that'd be just fucking dozens of times a day. So sheer volume, probably those guys. But
we're talking
a lot of it. Some of it they probably get opened up quite a lot, like stitches and stuff.
Yeah, rebar.
But other times, but in tendons and stuff, like if you hit the wrong, like I know rebar gets pretty sharp, but
it's not a very forgiving metal.
Fingers get a lot of injuries, man. Between your back lifting shit, nail guns, saws. Like I walked past a Sawzall that was just sitting in a pail and the blade was sticking out. I just walked past it one day and just bumped past it and the blade, like, fuck man, it gave me like 4 stitches in my knee.
What?
It just fucking opened me right up. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, yeah, like it was.
I would agree.
It got me good. It got me real good.
Like the framing that we're doing, like I don't know the other framing, but like condo framing, you're lifting heavy shit. Like it is all day, heavy shit, and you're contorted. The thing is, though, in Kelowna, when it was warm out, because your body's so hot, like my body functioned wonderfully because I function in high temperatures because my body gets loose.
It's when you got to layer up and your mobility is less.
Yeah, and you're cold. And you're cold, man. Like so lately, my injuries have gone up because I'm not like when it's plus 30, man, you're limber as hell. You're moving and moving. Everything's loose. You're sweating. You're drinking water, and now like it's cold, man. Like I'm not sweating. I'm cold. Like everything's tight. Like I don't function well in the cold, man. I'm not a high functioning functioner in cold. Low functioner.
No.
Like I.
It's ironic. I remember we had a family trip to New Zealand when I was living in Australia booked.
Yeah.
And my whole family were going, and I said, I'm not going there. And they're like, why? It's too cold. I'm not going to New Zealand. It's cold. Like, yeah, we'll go ski. Fuck, I hate the cold. We moved to Canada. Like,
idiot.
Bizarro.
Man, because that's why I got land in Ecuador. It's just to get the fuck away from here.
Yeah, like
what were you thinking? You were in the creme de la creme.
Yeah, the economy wasn't great at the time, so.
You know what? When your economy went to shit, I went there to do my my travels, and I found a job no problem.
Well, it depends what you're looking for.
I would look for work.
Well, it wasn't fruit picking.
I was in Perth. I did legging, and I was making $10,000 a month.
Yeah, but I wasn't in Perth. I was on the exact opposite side.
Well, whose fault is that, Dave? Perth is the closest thing to Berta you're gonna get to. Perth is the closest thing to a bunch of scallywag scumbags. Beauties. And they were. And they have pretty good surf in Margaret River. They do.
My time was up.
You belong in Canada.
I don't know if I belong here.
You belong.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, no, we got a fucking couple things in there. We'll get into that.
I know I'm going to drive home tonight, and I'm going to think of some injuries and be like, fuck, I wish I put that one in. Because there's actually a couple of pretty funny contractions.
Yeah, well, even funny
contractions that I found, like after our talk last week, that I found. I was like, oh, this is a beauty.
Yeah, you get those, man. I mean, you send them to me.
Yeah. We'll add them into that podcast. But
we have any funny ones? Like, I obviously, like a guy getting bagged or something is pretty good.
I've literally done the old walk on a rake, and the fucking thing's falling slap me. It fucking hurts.
How did this happen? Like, what kind of fucking maneuver were you?
You just walk and you look at one way, it just fucking happens. All you know is that it gets in the back of the head and it stuns you. You're like, you pause. You're like,
rage.
Oh, you don't know where you're swinging. You're like, what the fuck? Like, shit.
Have you ever got tagged by a saw? Like a skill saw?
No, but fuck, man, a guy I know, he cut from here, from the lower palm to, I can't remember if it was to the index or the middle finger there. But basically, we run a 240 volt there, so when our saws get snagged, they kick like fucking.
Oh, they're electric, they're not bad.
Or but they run a way higher voltage too, like double the voltage. So when they bite and they get caught, when they fucking snag, a full-grown man is powerless to stop. Like, it just throws itself.
Just thinking of this.
So I guess he was cutting a piece of fascia, and it fucking cut him through there. And I guess he said, yeah, I could have grabbed my 2 fingers and just plucked them off. He said it cut through, it's just hanging there. But to the doctor's credit, they stitched him up, and
all good.
I think for the most part, he was able to keep working. He was okay. Can you imagine that?
Man. Because I've had a couple of moments with the Sawzall where finger was on the trigger, going down, lost control, and if it would have caught me, like there's nothing I could do. Would have caught clothing, would have caught anything.
Ruthless.
It would have torn me apart.
No
it would have just been, it would have been carnage on multiple. It wouldn't be like a clean cut. It'd just be carnage on multiple levels. Because that Sawzall
just shark bite.
Oh God! Like.
I was chainsawing some door plates out, and chainsaw hit a nail head, I guess.
No, and kicked.
No, the chainsaw didn't kick, but I got the piece of nail in my eye, and that took a whole bunch of surgeries and stuff. By the way, if you guys ever get a piece of metal in your eye, get it removed immediately. Your eye will rust the metal, and then you'll have to keep going back to have the rust extracted. Like they have to grind it out. I think I had 4 separate, I guess you want to call them surgeries, you can, but where they sit there and they grind your eye. And it is the most uncomfortable thing. You can't blink, you can't do anything. It is really, really uncomfortable. As this person freehand grinds your eye. So I got that. That was bad, but I left it for a day. It wasn't a lot of pain, but I thought I'd just scratch
So it's
my
the same
eye.
as Christian.
Exactly the same.
Ugh. God, that is gross.
Yeah, he got the piece of wire from the roll of coil nails.
Not a fan.
No.
Not a fan. Shit. Injuries.
Yeah, eyes. Wear your glasses, boys.
Wear your glasses.
Or just don't be looking at what you're doing. Just line it up and
probably wear glasses.
Just wear your glasses.
Just wear your glasses.
I know they suck. It sucks and they're uncomfortable, but
yeah. So moral of the story. Moral of the story is injuries suck. That's our take on it.
Yep.
We have what's gonna be next week?
What is next week?
Most dangerous jobs, or what do we want? We got options. We're not gonna tell you. Fuck you.
Yeah, no.
We'll tell you next
Could be
week.
most dangerous jobs, but we might not do that one now because we said we would.
Yeah, just to keep you guys in a hiatus, but or how to be successful. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
You know, that might be a good one.
You know,
how to be the most successful you can be in your trade.
You know what I also was thinking? The qualities you build by working in the trades, because the trades, because it's hard, build certain qualities. Like I would say one of the things is when I was younger. Well, we'll do this another time. But yeah, well, the traits you build when you go into the trades.
You know what? Something we can add to that. Where did your inspiration to be a tradesman come from?
That's true.
At what point in your younger life did you say, I'm going to do this?
I like that.
Some guys just fall into it. Some guys were no good at school, but some guys had a dad or a parent or, family member or grandfather, whatever that
you're either a workhorse or you
like I wasn't academically gifted or I couldn't. I didn't apply myself.
Didn't want to go that direction.
Yeah, I had trouble applying myself academically, so that might be a good conversation to see how did you get here?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's another Blue Collar podcast wrapped up.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see you next week.
You bet.
And you don't know what's coming at you.
Yeah.
We don't even know really. Okay. Adios, amigos.
Goodbye.